Hey, what's good, y'all? Fuzion here, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to some Gills Arena. They're talking about Angel Reese and how she's been hooping. But first, I do want to go over the stats just real quick. Her current stats and her career stats, all that type of stuff. I've watched some of the games. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge WNBA watcher. I will watch them when they're on. I'll try to catch some highlights here and there. And I do enjoy watching them play. It's just, I don't know, like a timing thing. And sometimes I got other stuff that I'm watching. So that's the true reason that I don't really watch as much. But that being said, I will try to catch some games and just see what's really going on. I'm located in Las Vegas. I've said this multiple times. So I do watch the Aces when they're on. I definitely do try to catch them. I've been to a few games. They're cool. Still, it's not as much as I think I could be watching them. But that being said, I am all caught up on the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese nonsense. But this video, I definitely want to talk about Angel Reese. I think she's been hooping. She's been improving. She's changing her style of play to sort of fit the team a little bit better. I still think that the team needs some adjusting. They still need some scoring output. They still need some sort of guard help because she's doing her job. I mean, I'm not understanding the hate on Angel Reese. Sometimes I think they're overdoing like the actual problem. Now, let me just go ahead and nip this out the bud. Her free throw percentage, her field goal percentage, excuse me, is low. Everybody knows that. I'm not going to beat this one to a dead horse. Because, at that point, it is what it is. She has improved significantly. She was at 39%. Now she's at 42%. She needs to be comfortably at 55-60% from the field, I think. But I think her gameplay has changed a lot. She is more of that point forward role. You're seeing her be more looking to find her team more. Like you're seeing that increase here from 2 assists a game to 4 a game. I think she's more comfortable in that role. I think she's not a bona fide scorer. That is not her role. I don't think has ever really been her game. Yes, she can put up points in the column. Like you see these past 5 games here, 15, 22, 16, 24, and 17. Realistically, I'm expecting 15, 16 a game, almost like a DeAndre Ayton, Zubac style. Like we're not expecting offense, but anything that you can give us is great. I think she is great, obviously, with rebounding. She just broke another record, and I think it's important for people to bring up that record because I feel like they're downplaying what she's doing. Yes, like the me bound thing, which I think it was very, very clever, like for her to copyright that and start getting paid off of that. But yes, like the me bound thing is a thing. If we were playing and she's on my team, I feel way, way more comfortable than her not on my team. I want her on my team. I don't understand why a lot of fans or these new fans are saying, that they don't really wouldn't want her on your team. She plays winning basketball. She does a lot of stuff right. She does more stuff right than wrong, in my opinion. She understands. Well, she's beginning to really understand that she does not have to take every single shot when she's under the basket. She doesn't, and she's realizing that she has another solid big around her. Her team is also growing and developing. I think they're still going to struggle this season. Hopefully next season they can make some moves. But you're seeing growth, especially from her. She's playing more of that point role. She is turning over the ball a lot more than she did. Well, not a lot more. She was doing 2 turnovers a night. Now she's up to 4 for the season, but I do think that her role has changed like completely. So she is handling the ball more often. So she is sort of running the offense more than she was previously. Now, I want to definitely point this out. Her offensive rebounds actually went down, so that's not great. No, I'm just kidding. But these rebound numbers, if my big is giving me 13 rebounds a night, there are nights where she's getting 15 and 17 and look at this, like 15, 17, 16, 18, and 7 offensive rebounds. These are great numbers. You want somebody on your team like this. She has a high motor. It looks like she's been working on her game. It looks like she's been improving on her game. It looks like she's working on her mid-range jump shot. She's getting a little bit more comfortable taking the jump shot. Obviously, her threes need work. I do want her to improve more on her free throws, but they have gotten better. If you look at the stats, damn near everything is up. Damn near everything is up. I mean, she's only a second year player. She's had fans. She probably is scrutinized like the most in the league. There's no doubt about that. Some of it is self-inflicted, some of it not. More often not. I don't know what else you want from her that I think like she's already working on. You see the improvement in her like positioning. It seems like she is hella strong down there. It seems like she knows exactly how to get a rebound, how to position herself, how to find a way to do whatever she can to get that rebound. That's an important piece of basketball. And I think a lot of people who hate on that, who don't see the value in that, need to figure it out. Defensively, she is, I was going to say great. She is good. Very, very good defensively. The reason I say that is because I think she has another gear on the defensive end that she can activate. I think she has a really high ceiling. She has all of the intangibles already. We know she's a hard worker. We know she's a workhorse. We know she has the motor for it. We know she wants to play defense and does play defense. All she needs to do is polish that game just a little bit more. Polish it. That's all. It's not like, I don't think she needs to make a huge adjustment from going to an all-star off the bench to becoming a starter next season. I think there's a lot of upside to her. I think that that Chicago has something here. She is a star. She knows how to use her likeness to make money. She knows how to use all of like the negative stuff and not letting it affect her game. I think a little bit towards the beginning, she was sort of struggling, sort of trying to figure it out. It was sort of, I think, getting to her, but I think her team around her is uplifting her. I think there's a lot of people out there who are really, really showing their, showing up for her. And I think the stats show that. She's shooting the ball less, and she's scoring almost the same amount, and she's shooting the ball better. By a good margin. So that's just a little bit on her stats, I think. Again, she does a lot of stuff that I feel like goes unnoticed to get in the position to get the rebounds early. If you ever watched some of the games, watch how she moves. Watch how she uses her length, uses her body, uses her strength, uses her quickness. I do think she has a sneaky little quickness, and I think it's important for power forwards, small forward-esque players, men or women, like to have that. And she has that. Now, let's go ahead and get to the video. I have been watching Gil's Arena for a while now, and I think they have good points. I I have been waiting on them to address the Angel Reese situation. I think that they are hard on her, but I think it's because they know she has what it takes like to be a solid player. That's just my thoughts. But let's go ahead and get started with the video.
Establishing herself as a superstar in the W.
Establishing herself?
Or do you feel like she already is? Would you consider in that superstar?
She walked in the door. She walked in the door as a superstar, right? And there's like there's no accolades that she needed. Like her momentum came from college, and you know she's benefited in real time on her superstardom.
She had a very solid rookie season, balling out in the second season, and she not living up to that hype that came with the name that she brought into the league and all that fandom.
Is she living up to the name? Yeah. In college is what she did.
Sometimes I don't like when they do this type of shit because you know what the question is that they're asking. That being said, she did come out of college as probably the biggest name, one of the biggest names. At that time, so she already had some height and something or someone driving her already. That being said, there has to be something else. I feel like there was a lot of hate. There was super hate. There was times where she was playing okay. There was times when she was struggling, yes. But every single time that there was a chance to say something about Angel, everybody took it. And I think there is a race element to it as well. I mean, if you've ever been, and usually, you know, like I try to tell people and say this, like the internet is not real, but for athletes, for people who are entertainers who have to use the internet, it is real. They have to push themselves on there. They have to, because media is part of their contract. She is a podcaster now, so she will have to talk and interact with the media. She is a superstar. I don't care what nobody says. She has a McDonald's. She had or has a McDonald's sponsorship. Reese's Puffs sponsorship, has her own shoe, is on the cover of 2K, which I think is a good thing. I'm not mad at her being on there. I'd even argue that when it's all said and done, nah, I ain't gonna say that. No, y'all, nah. Will Caitlyn get one? Yes. And I think that is that's the biggest thing. And I think that is what a lot of people are questioning. Why does she get one over Caitlyn? You gotta understand what 2K is. It is a business. Who is more popular out of basketball, like besides basketball? Like, you gotta look at where Angel is compared to Caitlyn outside of basketball and outside of that aspect. Yes, Caitlyn is a better player. Yes, she probably is more famous, like compared, like on a like basketball level. Cool. We're talking about media. I believe people will be able to point out an Angel Reese ad. I believe she's more marketable than Caitlyn Clark. I believe people will support her more than Caitlyn Clark. And we're seeing that. We are seeing these companies. We are seeing these celebrities. We are seeing all of these entities pushing Angel Reese. There is a reason. She's getting a lot of negative shit, and I think that she's flipping it into a positive perfectly. And I think a lot of people are seeing that and realizing there is a business opportunity with her. She was not wrong when she said that Caitlin Clark was the only person pulling in like views and stuff. People come to see Angel. People come to hate on her, like that Dave Portnoy fuck boy. And I think all that hate and all that stuff, she is using that to become even better. You just got to give her flowers. You got to understand she is playing basketball well. She's doing all of the dirty work and scoring the basketball. She's influencing the game on a positive light. Yeah, they're not winning, but I do think that the games are close. They need some adjustments on the team. She needs to adjust her offensive ability. She needs to score the basketball a little bit more efficiently. Maybe cut down those turnovers a little bit. But overall, she's a great player. She's playing great.
She's an entertainer, right? And, you know, I know, you know, she's not going to be very welcomed. I mean, none of the two girls are welcome, but it's everyone's looking at one when the other one is not as welcome either. Right? You're talking about you don't really have no stats and you are the cover girl of the game we've been trying to be the cover of for the last 15 years. You got a shoe, signature shoe that we've been trying to get for the last 15 years. You got McDonald's. I did.
That type of rebounding tenacity with this as your base. Dennis Rodman, rebounding.
So that's called superstar.
Just wanted to skip Gil because he's not really talking about her, like her skill set and how she's been playing. So let's go ahead and skip a little bit. We're not gonna watch the whole thing.
Goes from coming in like a peak Hall of Fame Dennis Rodman and a rookie year without the polished offensive skills, going into her second, third, fourth year with those things to develop, with this as your base. Dennis Rodman, rebounding, 19, 17, 20, getting that type of like foundation, I think makes her the most dangerous. I think we never seen anybody in the league, especially the WNBA, come in with that type of rebounding tenacity. Because the girls don't know how to play at that level, like to just go get every single rebound like that. Like it's never been like that. So to see her take advantage of that lane, like this is mine, me bound. Let me get this.
And you talk about the negative comments.
And that is the main, I think, thing that a lot of people aren't saying and aren't being fair with her rebounding and her like me bound shit. There's a skill to rebounding. You know, of course, athleticism plays a fact. Strength plays a fact. All of that. Angel Reese isn't overly athletic. She has some athleticism, at least enough to be a threat. But most of it is positioning, boxing out, and strength. She has all. She already learned like the hard part. The hard part is not being afraid of contact, not being afraid to get down there, not being afraid to get down there and hit. Basketball is a contact sport. It's always been a contact sport. When you're rebounding, you go and hit somebody for the box out. That's how I was taught how to rebound. That's how my little brother was taught how to rebound. That's how my littlest brother was taught how to rebound. And that's how I'm going to teach my kids how to rebound. You go find somebody, put a body on them, get them out the way so you can get that ball and then go back up with it. She mastered that. That's an important piece of basketball that she has already mastered in 2 seasons of professional ball. Offensively, she's not great. But she's getting her 13, 15, 17 some way. Decision-making, passing, it's not great, but it's improving. It's getting there. she is pulling out the best from her team in most nights. Just her. So I just think she needs more respect. I'm glad that she's on the face of the cover of 2K. I'm glad that she got her shoe out. They just need to string along some wins. She just needs to improve a little bit, but I think the hate gotta stop. At this point, it is becoming unwarranted and sort of lame and corny. Because there's a way to critique her game without some of the other like critiques that are being said about her. You know, like the Sid the Sloth bullshit. Like, she's a pretty girl. So the way that y'all are AIing and editing her eyes to look wider than they are, or just that type of stuff, you know that shit is lame. You know that. And you're just feeding into it like a piece of shit. It's lame to me. It's sad. Like, we're seeing a generational talent being sculpted and molded right in front of our eyes, and people can't even appreciate what she's doing. This is her second year. I hate to, and I tried my best not to bring them into like the conversation and sort of have them head to head. But Caitlin Clark is struggling her second year. Injuries did have a role in it, so that is true. But she's having a slump year. She is, and that's natural. It is normal for a second year to have a slump, and then they got to figure it out. If she can break out of that, which I do think that Caitlin Clark can, she's going to be fine. Angel had a slump at the beginning. She had a slump at the beginning of this year. But she bounced back, figured it out, and is playing well. Hats off to the coach also. I think there was a coaching adjustment. I think they told Angel, be the point forward. She's too valuable to not be out of the paint, but I'm seeing nights or plays where she's bringing the ball up, hitting a nice cross into the finish. Nice cross into a pass. Some cross spin move, finish with the left. A swing, midi jumper.
The rebound, she flipped it, turned it into a positive, now selling merchandise. What we talked about on this couch, and y'all know, it's hard to get your own rebound. So I'm just saying, if you got 4 or 5 people battling for that rebound, you miss a shot, you put it back up, but that's not some easy thing. Like, I'm just gonna go miss a bunch and get my you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm in there battling.
They said Bill Russell did a lot of that, but listen,
he didn't do it on purpose.
George Michael had a whole drill.
saying. But I'm just saying that if that'll make you a Hall of Famer, shit.
But there's still something to be said about getting those boards when you battling 3, 4 other people that are all battling. Yeah, they're all battling to get that rebound. So even if you want to make that argument, I guess is my point. Now, George Mikan and Bill Russell, different conversation. We used to do the Mikan drill, thinking George Mikan was this offensive beast. The reality is,
you go in to face Angel Reese now, you're looking for, she might put 20 rebounds on your head, type shit. Like.
And that's the crazy point of it. Teams are going to have to start strategizing to keep her off of those boards. It may not be this year or this season. It may not be next season. But at some point, they're going to have to realize that they're going to have to keep her off of the boards, or they're not going to win games. Because she's only going to get better. I could see her developing that 3-point shot. Hopefully, it does not come to a point to where that she relies on it, because she's such a important part in that paint. there's an important part to her offensive rebounding that causes the fouls, that causes the easy shots, that causes the pass out for the jump shot. There's a lot that she brings to the table to a team that you want. Eventually, teams are going to try to poach her or try their best to keep her off of the boards. Because imagine getting 15 boards. Imagine getting 17 boards, and she's just doing it like it's just whatever. In high school, I was a solid rebounder. I would try to tip the ball. I would step on people's foot so they can't jump. I would use their foot to jump up like a little bit so I could get the rebound. Use elbow a little bit to create some space. Get the rebound. I knew how to do that part. So I see what she's doing. I see the positioning that she's doing. I'm seeing the strength, like to move 2 or 3 people out the way. You see that. It just needs some respect. It just needs some respect. And I think that's all. I mean, I don't really think this will go much longer. Like, there's not much else that I feel like I really want to get into. Shout out to Caitlin Clark, though. I do think she's a great player. I wish her the best. I hope she gets healthy and plays better. It's a win for basketball when the W is playing well. It's just a win for basketball. And I think there's a slump right now, right after basketball season. There's like an open time for sports, and sometimes this is the perfect time for the women's team to make a statement. The W can make a statement and be like, this is the summer team. So y'all, I mean, this is the summer sports. Y'all could watch baseball and us at the same time, whatever. But I think you give Caitlin and Angel maybe like a year or two. You still got Paige. She's hooping. Haley Van Lith. She just needs to figure it out. She needs reps. I do think that they're not really using her properly, but she's a rookie, so hopefully she gets more time with the ball. Still waiting on Cam Brink. Hopefully she does get healthy and plays, because I think she'll be fun to watch also. But that's all I got for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe.